Adil, back to you.
Thank you, Ishita, and thank you, everyone. So yeah, we'll start with our first speaker. Will be Partha. I think that's what we call him. I'll let him tell us his full name now. But yeah, I think Partha did his fellowship in 2017-18, if I'm not wrong. I'll let him also talk about his fellowship experience, his work with Bhoomi after that. But for me, like having spent some amount of time with Partha, talking to him, what really stands out for me is there is a certain quietude to him. So like I wouldn't call him very just calm or silent, but there is a sort of shantam that they say. There's a quietude to it. And also I sense a deep level of contentment with santosham. So I think the two words that I would use for Partha is shantam and santosham. Those are the two things that stand out for me. Are really somebody who has deep gratitude, somebody who is very calm under even stressful circumstances, and deeply cares about sustainability. So the project that he's working on, his own personal sustainable practices, making sure that people within the community that he lives in, even they are exposed to sustainability and what really needs to be done. So for me, that's what stands out about Partha. And Partha, I think very happy to have known you for the past 3-4 years. Happy to have you here share your journey. I know it took us some effort to get you to share your journey, but we're very happy that you're here and ready to share your journey. So over to you, Partha.
Thank you, Adil. Actually, I've come here unprepared. I just dropped very late in the evening last night from Tiruvanamalai. Managed to put in some points as a slides, but we will let's see how it goes. Maybe the interactive part can be more things I can discuss in detail. Slide visible?
Yes, Partha.
How do I make it full screen?
You can just click on view and then
Is there?
Yep.
Okay. So quickly, I'll walk through my journey. Adil said I was quite calm, but earlier I was not so. I used to get quite upset and angry at the things happening around. Okay, let me go through. We all have different journeys. Here is my journey in a nutshell. As like many of us went through the conventional educational system, to school, to college, then migrated to a bigger city for post-graduation, and then landed up in Bangalore for work. So moved away, dislodged from the hometown and the family. But the good thing is I landed up in the work, which is in line with what I did my studies in IT field. So I joined an Indian IT service provider. That was way back in 1996. No regrets, because that's what I wanted to do then. And I was getting paid decently as well. But what, so it gave me a very good exposure to me. Had an opportunity to travel to different places, different time zones. And it gave me an opportunity to observe and see things, how it's happening outside India. A lot of that age group, we were just carried away by the technology, excited about technologies, and that growth economic model. So first 5 years, it was like that's where I wanted to be. But what I saw over the period of time is the company was also growing faster due to that economic conditions, relaxation that was done in India. The globalization was happening on one side, and the outsourcing wave was happening. So a lot of work activities were happening. And I slowly noticed the way the company was very small when I joined, very employee friendly, and very flexible in terms of work culture. And there was a work culture was in sense with respect to Indianness. I can see a lot of Indianness in terms of how people are being treated, how we execute things in a collaborative way. But as the company was growing faster and faster, bigger and bigger, I saw slowly it's moving away from this, from employee centric to sales centric, from collaborative. It was moving less. It was becoming less and less collaborative and more competitive. That is, I'm talking about within the organization. Within the same organization, with your own peers, you have been seen as a competitor, not as so. The collaboration was never happening, and the organization, as it was becoming multinational in operation, I started them slowly adopting Western culture, Western work culture, which was all new to me, which was against my, I saw a lot of things against my personal ethics. So there were a lot of clashes within myself, which I was struggling with. I don't know. It started asking me. So I started asking so many questions, for which I couldn't find answer. And I by the time I crossed 10th year, 15th year, by the time I have crossed 15th years, so I didn't see any clarity in the direction where I'm going. This led to a lot of conflict within me, anger many times, upset at times. So this is where I was about 15 years back. While organization was happening, I was seeing the transformation happening in the organization and the conflicts with me. I was also observing what is happening in Bangalore. So when I came to Bangalore in 1996, it was a small town. Anywhere in Bangalore, I will be able to travel in 15-20 minutes, any corner of Bangalore. But Bangalore was also growing bigger and bigger. And people were happy that it's the fastest growing city in the world. I don't know for what. But what I was seeing is a lot of deterioration, ecological deterioration was happening. Pollution, traffic, water scarcity, and weather was also changing from colder to warmer side. And farmers who are living in the suburbs were getting pushed out and outer because their lands were getting diverted for construction and road and ring roads and outer ring roads. And lakes were slowly getting encroached for new living spaces. This was happening on the technology where I was working. I was working the telecom side. So I was seeing that technology uses was increasing in terms of whatever we are seeing now, we were working 10 years back in terms of how to make people hooked to internet 24/7. That is, we call always on technology. So how to make people be online always. So it was exciting then, but when I look back now, the same technology has entered into my own home, and my own children are hooked to these technology and the tools. And I see a lot of behavioral change in them. All these were made me, what to say, anger on one side, helpless on the other side. So I just want to started thinking, what is the alternative? Is there an alternative? And that's when my search for alternative started. Before that, I happened to get to access this information. That is, in the 17th century, British took their cargo ship from Africa. So the empty cargo ship comes from UK to Africa. They load the slaves. The slaves are being sold by their own African agents. And the ship will now travel to Jamaica. And they will sell the slaves in the sugar plantation there, where the working condition is really, really poor. They will be squeezed to work till their last blood. And these guys exchange these slaves for sugar, and their ship will travel to New Jersey in US, where they make rum, and the finished product will go for their own country, and the ship will again travel back to Africa to carry more slaves. So it's kind of a resource movement from one place to another place, exploited for someone else's benefit. Then, if you see, go back to the 18th century, the same thing happened, but in a different way. The British took raw materials from India, for example, from all their colonies to their own place, make the finished product, and then ship it back to that colonies to sell them at a very competitive price and kill the local market and the local skills. This is what British was doing in 18th century. Now, if we come back to 21st century, same thing is happening in terms of globalization, outsourcing trade. So our skills are being utilized here to make a product somewhere else in overseas, and that product is being sold to us at a premium rate. And who is facilitating these activities are our own Indian businesses. All the big IT companies in India are selling skills, are selling young minds, and they are not ready to make a product for India. And there is, when you try to understand why, there are a whole lot of politics involved behind it. So this hit me very hard. So 17th century to 18th century to 21st century, nothing has changed. That the same slavery is going on. We are still, though we say we are we just completed 50 years, 55 years of independence, but we are still economically ruled by the West. This really upset me. and hit me very hard, which raised a lot of questions in my mind. Okay, and started thinking how to transit out of this conventional system. And one thing badly bothered me was like, do I want my children to take the same path, or am I going to lead them by my own way? If I continue in the same mainstream, am I going to also show them the same direction? So this when I was looking for spaces, because I was so helpless and I felt alone, and alone I can't do anything much as well, right? So my search started then, and that's when I found three spaces where I can look for answers. So one is Vanaham, which is a place in Tamil Nadu, which is an ecological space. Second one is Bhoomi. Bhoomi was offering the sustainable living course, which I thought probably will help me. The third thing I was thinking is, while on the ecological thing, I wanted to explore something on the humanity side. That's when I found a space called Banjara Network, which is again in Bangalore. So now I've had to make a decision. So I decided to take 1 year break to pursue things out of mainstream, to explore options. So it was on Labor Day, May 1st, 2017. I decided to quit. I resigned from my organization and said I will take 1 year break, explore in these alternative spaces, and then figure out what I want to do. I didn't have any other plans, backup plans with me then. So I joined, I went to Vanaham for a 3-day workshop, then joined Bhoomi for this 10-month sustainable course. Basically, the intent is I just want to unlearn as much as possible. And then that was my, I didn't have a clarity in terms of what I want to do. All I wanted is I want to unlearn. I wanted to slow down first. I really wanted to slow down because of somewhere I felt I was traveling too fast. So I landed up in Bhoomi, where I spent about a good amount of time in 2017, which really helped me to connect all the dots, and gave me more clarity in terms of why, whatever the anger in me, whatever disappointment I carried with me, seeing things happening around me, I could understand why such things are happening. And as I was able to connect dots and understand the politics behind things, everything. So I was able to see through and get a very clarity. I could calm myself. So I decided, okay, carry on the same path. So these are the things helped me to shape up in Bhoomi. I just walk through the slides. It's very simple. So I spent this 1 year very meaningfully in Bhoomi, and started and decided to live in the present. So my anxiety, my anger, everything got a redirection to a new meaning in life. But the problem is realizing that there are a lot of things to be done, and lot more unlearning is to be done. So that was the journey till 2018, and fortunately, in 2018, there was an idea of what we can give back to rural space. This is a discussion, a casual discussion happened in Bhoomi, which evolved into a bigger project. So Bhoomi wanted to create a space, a rural space, where we can give back to rural community. Because in urban space, we have a lot of institutes and spaces for people to come and learn. But there is no such space in rural India. So they wanted to have, so this project evolved, and it needed a long-term commitment to develop an ecological space where focus is more on soil fertility, water conservation, how to bring biodiversity in farming, how to revive the traditional skills. Can we at least look at holistic health for primary care in rural space? Can we, how to build communities in the village? How to bring back the gift culture in the rural space? So these are the things we are focusing on this project. It's a long journey to go, but we have started, and I'm fortunate to be part of this journey with Bhoomi. This is in quick nutshell about me. So since 2018, the work is happening in this space, and we are slowly evolving. That's pretty much about my journey so far.
Thank you, Partha.
Was I too fast?
No. You're not too fast, but you were very calm. And so, yeah, thank you for the presentation. I think maybe later when we get to the interaction time, you could go into a little detail about the project itself, and maybe some of the learnings for you from the project, and if any, from the fellowship. So we will do that in the interaction. Okay. Thank you, Partha. Okay, I think our next speaker is Akshata, and I'll let Farah introduce her, or maybe just.
So hi, yeah. So before I introduce Akshata, I would also like to add to what Adil said about Partha's thing. I would also like to hear what are some of the things that you have put in processes there, Partha. That would be really interesting to know. what are some of the things that you have been instrumental in putting there. So coming to Akshata, yeah, so I think about her journey, etc., Akshata will only talk about. So I will talk about what has been my experience of Akshata as a person. And she was part of 2016-17 batch. I think how I experience Akshata, a couple of things that come to my mind is like a very, very determined person. And somebody who has this integrity of thought, feeling, and action. So what she thinks, what she feels, she acts accordingly. And as I see, like she has a vision for herself, and then she has the energy to translate them into action. And another thing about Akshata, like she's able to connect the dots. So what she's reading, what she's learning, she's able to connect it to the real life situation and see the underlying patterns there. And yeah, like she said, she's a farmer, a villager. She's also an adventurer. With all of this serious work that she's doing, I see she's also a person who can bring lightheartedness in a space. And that's how I have seen her. So yeah, one last thing to add is like, I have seen Akshata, oh, I'm sorry for this noise, just a minute. This work is going on. Yeah, so what I have seen Akshata, like she feels very, very intensely and passionately about things. And probably that gives her the energy to take action and do something about it. She just doesn't like, okay, this issue is there, and so she wouldn't just sit with that and feel about it. She's able to take some actions about that. So that's Akshata in brief, and very happy, Akshata, that you could join us today. So over to you now.
Thank you, Faranti. Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. Taking this forward, I'll just share my screen. So starting with how did this journey to seek begin? So basically I connect to the Panchabhutas a lot, the 5 elements. So I feel that every phase of life, one element is very dominant in us. So when this journey began of where I wanted to like seek and find something else, explore, I connected to fire a lot because there was this fire inside me to do something. I mean, I wanted to go out, find out who am I. So the seeking was through the fire. So when did this journey begin for me is basically everything was good in life at that time. I had a very well-paying job. I had a qualification with the society approved immensely. I was in a very good company. My work team was really nice. So basically I had nothing to complain about, but then still there was this feeling of incompleteness in me. There was this thing of wanting to seek something else. So why I'm sharing this right now is I see a lot of folks also going through the similar process. So it's okay to have that incompleteness even when life is all good. During this time, I decided to follow my instincts. I decided to let it go through its natural flow and see where it takes me. I stopped using my logical brain. I stopped using being rational and questioning as why do you want to do this? You have a job. Why do you want to quit? Why do you want to do that? So I stopped the questioning bit of my brain and I said, okay, let's just go with the flow. So during this phase, I feel the element of water was very dominant in me because like the river, it just goes along with the flow. It never questions as to, oh, why is there an obstacle here? Why is there a rock? Or why do I have to go through the forest? So it just flows through the whole path. So basically, I did a lot of volunteering and interning to kind of like find out more about my own interests. So my internship journey was very diverse. Like I worked with a organization which was into wildlife conservation. So I was their intern for a human wildlife conflict survey. Then I interned with the Karnataka Forest Department as well for elephant census, crowd management, lion transects, and I worked in the Dubare forest. But gradually, while I had interest in wildlife conservation, I kind of like flowed along into the social enterprise as well. So I worked with an NGO for developing a social enterprise model. And I am basically from Mysore, but right now I'm in Hassan. So in Mysore, there was a farmer's market from like it's quite old. They're there since 20 years. So I volunteered with them, and I did a permaculture design course as well. So when I kind of like sat and made this PPT and I wrote this down, I was like, oh my God, what all have I like volunteered and interned in? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. But then that's when I realized that all this helped me learn a lot about myself. I started feeling comfortable in my own skin, and I met so many varied personalities during this stint and discovered that there's so much of diversity in the world, just in the humans. I mean, like each person is like diverse from another. And slowly, I started to believe that the societal definition of normal is not true. I mean, it's not true for me. It can be true for somebody else, but it's not being true for me. So I felt that it was okay to step out of that definition. And each time I became more self-aware, my self-confidence started to lift up. I was able to stand up and say that I want to do this. Maybe it doesn't make sense right now, but I still want to do it. So it gave me the courage to follow this kind of that seeking which was there inside me. I had the courage to go through it. So from all this is when I landed up in Bhoomi, when I was going through this phase. So when I came to Bhoomi, the element of water started to reduce and the element of earth started to develop in me. So I found my love for soil during my fellowship in Bhoomi College. And then I felt this very strong urge to root myself. I mean, I felt like, okay, I'm done kind of like traveling, flowing and everything, but now I want to root myself to call a place my own, and also to kind of like build my own community. So I kind of like, again, respected my inner voice and I found a place I could call home. So presently, who am I? First and foremost, I would say I'm a villager because I connect to rural India immensely. Even though I was born and brought up in the urban part of it, I married a villager and I moved to a village. So right now we live in the village. It's been 4 years now. So, so connecting to rural India came very naturally to me. It's like they're two different contrasting scenarios, the urban and the rural. So the rural bit of it is so easy to connect for, especially for me. I mean, the people, I feel they're like not complicated and there's no sophistications and I can just be myself. So first and foremost, I'm a villager and I'm proud to say I'm a villager. Then second thing is I'm a farmer, but what I would like to emphasize here is farming is my spiritual quest. Actually, it is not intellectual for me. So because whenever I have these discussions about agriculture with anybody, the topic very automatically goes to, okay, what kind of farming do you do? How do you make jivamruta? How many times do you pour it? What crops are you growing? How much are you earning? But then kind of that conversation tires me out. That's because I look at agriculture more as a spiritual journey. So when I go to the land, when I work on the soil, it's just me and the soil there. And I don't use my logical brain there. I just go with the flow. I kind of like talk to her. I sit there. I just feel her. I go through her mood swings. And I just see the seasonal changes around. And that's what farming is for me. So if you ask me the cropping pattern, how much is the land earning? Am I able to survive on the land? I guess that's a totally different ballgame altogether. Second thing is I say that right now I'm a nurturer because that feeling of wanting to nurture is very dominant in me presently. So I have 3 dogs and I have puppies and we have goats and hens. They are the permanent residents on the farm. But additional to that, we have many folks who drop in, like they can be family, friends, or even strangers who kind of like come here and they stay here for a while with us, and then they say that there is something nice about this land, the energy that we start to heal. I mean, healing doesn't have to be just physically. There's also a lot of mental healing that happens on the land. And I also work with our government school, which is there in our village. Sadly, the strength of the school is very less. There are around 10 kids. That is all the government school has. So I kind of like work with those 10 kids. I introduce them to meditation. I take them for bird watching. I just randomly ask them to enact a drama. Or basically, I do a lot of storytelling with them. So it could be like a merger of Kannada and English both. Then rural India also has a little of inferiority when it comes to English. So I kind of like try to get that out of their system. I try to teach them spoken English, and I try to get the concept of English is just a language end of the day. So that is one. And one more thing I've not mentioned here is I kind of like started something called a sharing circle for women. So I personally had a very volatile mental journey. So having gone through that, I wanted to create a mental healing space for women. So right now what we do is we meet up weekly once, and we just sit and talk, we share. Nobody there is a clinically trained therapist or anything. We're just like regular women folk. When we talk it out, we feel like we gain energy through each other. So initially when the circle started, it was very superficial. We did not go into depths. And as it started to grow, we got deeper into conversations, like things we have never shared with anybody, we started to share. And we realized that during this journey, as we shared, we became lighter. So that is one other thing that I do. We do it weekly once, so that is going on. And additional to all this, I'm a chartered accountant. I have an office nearby from the farm. It's around 20 kilometers. So basically right now, this is the job that pays for our food and basic survival needs. Recently, we have started hosting people on the farm for workshops. So I'm a workshop facilitator as well. So we have workshops on the farm where we combine mental well-being with natural living. So the workshop looks like you'll be grazing goats, you'll be de-weeding, you'll be planting something for some time. And then again, we sit together, we talk, and there are activities where you'll have to just sit silently under a tree, observe the tree, or just walk around the farm and connect to the farm and see what emotion is there in you right now. So that kind of thing. And so after this whole journey, I feel the one word which could summarize my learning all throughout is balance. So I feel that balance in everything is very necessary, and that's when life is a little happy. So whenever I have a day filled with work, I ensure that there's a day full of rest the next day. So I started to grow when I started finding this balance. So I found this balance only through nature, because I used to just sit and observe nature a lot of months. So I learned them from my animals, my dogs, my hens, my goats around, the trees on the land, the soil, the seasons especially. So from nature, what I could learn is that acceptance of things is very necessary, and not every day is the same. So at times emotions run high, at times low. It's okay. That is also fine. And one thing I realized that is being successful is very overrated right now. So I feel that growth happens when it has to happen. And there are phases of life when it might get stagnant, but that is also okay, because I've seen like saplings, when it rains, they just shoot up. But then it's summer and they're just there. They just survive. That is all they do during that period. And that is also fine. So what I did is I prioritized peace, contentment, joy over competition, yardsticks of success, and validation. So how did the community around me react to the roles? Is a lot of women in my village want to become financially independent now. And certain schoolgirls in the village also have started to dream. They say that they want to get a job, they want to build a life for themselves, from basically when they used to just talk about getting married. And also the women folk in my sharing circle, they are like so comfortable with their emotions right now, from the initial stages where they couldn't differentiate between emotions and thoughts. And also being in the rural part of our country here, the role of a husband and wife is very solid, as in a husband is supposed to do this, a wife is supposed to do this. But my husband and I share a very fluidic role. So when people visit us, especially from the village, they kind of observe that, and it is kind of like making a small change in our village around. So this is a small glimpse of our farm. It is around 130 kilometers from Bangalore. So 4 years back, this was basically a chemical commercial farm that it is in my husband's ancestral land. So they used to do commercial plantation here, growing tomatoes, brinjals, chilies, but all chemical. So since 4 years is when the land has started to change.
Akshata, I'm not able to see the slide move ahead. I'm not sure about the others.
Yeah, same here. Even I can't see.
Yeah, maybe you can share it again.
Okay. Now, Adil?
So it's still stuck on slide 1. Maybe if you put it on slideshow mode and just move down, maybe.
Can you see it now?
It's still stuck on the first slide. How did the...
Okay, 1 second. Maybe I'll not make it full screen. Can you see it now?
Yes. So now it's on the second slide. Yeah.
Second slide, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So actually there was not many pictures on the slide. It was just more of the text what I spoke about. So this is some photos of me volunteering in different places. And so basically I had put backgrounds in the slide, I mean, to show the elements that I was connecting to. So there's like water, there is earth. And who am I presently? Can you hear me, Adil?
Yes, Akshata.
Okay, so this is the farm. This was the last slide.
Thank you, Akshata, for that. Yeah, I think even when Farah, Ishita, and I were just discussing what are the things maybe we would want you to focus on, definitely volunteering was one of them. One of it came about, like, because the profile also that you had sent from 2012 or 2013 to 16, it was volunteering in a lot of places. So I think would love to hear, like, I think you spoke about it, how it really helped you figure out, meet different people, see a lot of different perspectives. Maybe you could go into a little detail about how volunteering impacted you. And the other thing is, I think there seems to be great alignment in terms of ikigai, right? So like you've sort of figured out a profession, you have a passion, you have like a mission that you want to work with. So just wanting to understand how you sort of integrate that, because many people who want to come to the alternative want to sort of completely negate what they're good at, which may not be in the sector that they want to contribute in. So just in terms of a model, would love to know, like, how did you come to that place where you said, okay, this is something I'm good at, being a CA, so I'm going to use that, leverage that as a profession, and not see it as something which is against my values. So as a model, would love to hear about that, because Partha also had a model where he worked for many years and then completely quit. But yours is a model where you're sort of, like you said, balancing both the worlds. So maybe a little bit in detail once we get to that. Thank you, Akshita. So our next speaker is Anusha. I'll let Farah introduce her, or maybe I'll put Ishita on the spot a little bit and ask Ishita to introduce Anusha. Ishita? Okay, I think
Okay.
Ishita is okay. Ishita is not here. Yeah. Okay, I couldn't put her on this.
Something has happened to my computer.
Okay,
Ishita,
no problem.
something has happened to her system, so she's not able to log in.
No problem. She put herself on the spot, but Farah, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, Anusha, our next speaker. So Anusha is, I'm now with so many batches having passed out, I'm getting mixed up with the year. So I think it is 18-19 batch, Anusha. So Anusha is from there. And again, how I experience Anusha. So a few things that come to my mind is like, she's one person who I see as not being afraid of taking the untrodden path. And if she's convinced about something, she just goes and does it. And I think she lives the life that she believes in. Another thing that I really I connect to in Anusha is that while she takes the untrodden path, she is also sensitive to people who are still looking at things differently, who are still looking at things from a very different location. So while she believes that she needs to follow her path and what she believes in, she's not dismissive of people who are still operating from a different location. And that helps her, that sensitivity helps her in taking people along, in slowly trying to work with them, in slowly trying to transition them towards a sustainable living. So that is something I find quite remarkable in Anusha. And she is also another free spirit person, an adventurer. And I really like her smile, that her smile is really very, it lights up the space. So that's Anusha for me. So I'll hand over to her. So Anusha, welcome, and really happy that you are here.
Thanks, Farah. Am I audible?
Yes, Anusha.
Yeah, thanks a lot for those kind words. Hi, everyone. I'm Anusha, and I'm here to share my struggles, my journey, the battles within me that I've been facing over the last few years, and how I'm also dealing with them. Share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, Anusha.
Okay. So Farah mentioned the road not taken. So that is something that actually kind of ignites me a lot. The poem also by Robert Frost. So for me, I am an industrial production engineer by background, and I always wanted to be a doctor. When I was young, I always wanted to be a doctor, and then I ended up doing engineering because I missed the qualification by 1 mark for the entrance exam, and then I took up engineering because that was the next thing to do, and I took industrial production in it. The mechanical part definitely interested me, and I wanted to take a job in the same field, but then there was the next twist, which is I became an IT engineer. And so I've always, I wanted to do one thing, but then I ended up doing another thing. So that's how life was for me. once I joined IT, I think in the first or second year, I kind of felt like maybe I don't belong here. I had a great team. I was learning pretty well, and definitely like it was good. There was a lot of learning that happened. I joined as a team member. I grew up to be a team lead, handling 15 to 20 people across locations. But still, there was something that I felt it was so out of place. There were two things that I definitely also enjoyed doing there. I used to volunteer in a government school and teach English to kids, and also take groups of 50 to 80 on treks. So two of my passions, I was also trying to do them along when I was working. And I think it was almost like 6, 7 years into IT, and my health started deteriorating. I had a lot of migraines. And that's when my partner, he kind of said that, no, I think you need to take a break now. It's really affecting you. But I didn't have the courage. I was like, what will I do if I lose my financial stability? How am I going to, decide what I'll do next? And I'm a person who needs certainty in everything. Like I can't have loose ends. I can't have unplanned things. I need to plan everything and then execute them. So to actually take a break, not knowing what I'm going to do next was the first hit for me, but I had to do it. And then when I did take that, I was a lot scared on, okay, how am I going to handle? I don't want to be dependent on him. I have to be independent. So all these expectations were really high for me. Then I tried actually volunteering in a travel and adventure related firm where I did that for 3 months to understand if is my passion really there. But I did that, and then eventually I got to know about Bhoomi through a friend, and she brought me to this place. Just checked it out. That's when I met Farah first. She was telling me what the course was, and then I just came back home, and that was around in April 2018, I think. And then I think it was June end or July end, which was like the last deadline to fill the forms. It was almost in the deadline that I actually filled the form. And then Farah was the one who interviewed me over a telephonic call. And then I actually joined the course 5 days late because I was outside. But while I was still doing it, I was even confused there. So Bhoomi offered 2 courses, one on sustainable living and one on holistic education. Again, there I was confused which I wanted to take because I felt equally pulled and interested in both these topics, but then I also had to choose. So I took up sustainable living, and that's how it began. But when I was still doing it, I was not sure if this is what I wanted to do. Is it right for me? Was something that was coming up, but I still felt it's okay. I'm exploring. So let me see what this brings for me, what Bhoomi brings. And that's how the journey began. And then at Bhoomi, one thing that I recollect very clearly was, yes, there was a lot of unlearning first because I had to unlearn a lot of things on the dominant paradigm. The first picture, I think this was part of our inner outer ecology, where I think most of Bhoomi journey actually for me is contemplation, where there were different perspectives on any topic maybe, but was then again left to self-contemplation on what is in it for me. And me as a person, I am more of a kinesthetic person. I like doing things like just listening, seeing. I think I do not understand or derive satisfaction in it. And for me, I'm more of a hands-on person. So some things that I really recollect from Bhoomi journey was all the different activities I got to do and learn. Definitely cooking, all the different modules like gave me some parts of my hands-on experience work. So cooking definitely was one thing where we had to cook for our entire community. And then I was also part of the team during Bhoomi Utsav. And then while we were making compost or Jivamritam during the farming modules, we also learned parts of eco-construction. Right now, I think the picture on the leftmost screen, that was like a building which which we built, not even a building, like I think 5 layers of sacked bags right now, but we made it, then we removed it, we made it, then we removed it. And then now finally, this thing is actually a place where our Bhoomi Sante happens. And towards the end of the year almost, I think in Feb, we also got to make a windmill in Prakriya School. The middle 2 pictures are from there, where we were actually physically making the windmill. So that one was definitely something I cannot forget, those 2 days of experience. And yes, so eventually learning happened from the unlearning from where it started. And like I said, I'm somebody who likes things very planned, and for Bhoomi, uncertainty was normal. Like that put me to shock. Like how can people be so chilled? How can people not know what to do next? Because that was like an innate thing for me. But that's when I started learning that no, it is a normal behavior. And then I think I slowly started embracing it. So maybe there's a little loose openness, or there will probably openness for me as well, that it's okay if things are not planned. But that was something definitely that I recollect about how it is okay to not know. And then as a part of our internship and real life project, food as medicine is definitely something that interests me a lot. So I also interned at a millet restaurant. I was there cooking. As a part of the event, the first 2 pictures, we actually cooked millet-based food for around 300 people at a educational event. And everybody used to just come and, like flock at our stall because the food used to be so yummy. So I got to learn a lot while I was interning at that restaurant, and also tried some of my own recipes. And then I also went to a tribal hamlet in BR Hills, the last 2 pictures, where I was interested to learn from the tribal folks on how that inherent knowledge of food, medicine is there in them. Something that I also felt a little disappointed there was about how even knowledge for them was kind of diluting. They have also become more, or the shift towards city-based life has also started in the tribals, and how most of their knowledge is also kind of being lost. That was a little disappointing for me, but the experience there definitely was very beautiful. Then as a part of our collective, few of us from Bhoomi batch, 5-6 of us, we got together with an intention of starting a collective. And one of our intention was community living. And as a part of that, there was few things that each of us brought in as our interest in a collective or a community space. So some things that we definitely wanted to look at was food, lifestyle, sustainable farming practices, ecotourism, education. So like Bhoomi offers these 2 courses on sustainable living and holistic education. So we were like few of us who came in from both the streams. And for me, as I said in the beginning, like my interest was in both of these fields. One of my dear friend, Aparna, so she always said this, that you might be, like in sustainable living, but you're always, your heart lies in holistic education. So I just recollect that. So something that I believe is probably that shift which happened across generations, like the way probably my grandparents' generation was, they were more sustainable, circular, economy was in place. But I think that shift kind of happened towards my parents' generation, where things, all the old traditional knowledges were lost, and then the shift happened. So I kind of believe that maybe it's really tough to now change my parents' generation, because they grew up from nothingness to whatever they are right now. Our generation, yeah, maybe dialoguing and continuous efforts, we could still strike a chord. But something that I firmly believe is at least the generation to come, children. So if we are able to talk to them and bring all these thoughts to them at a very nascent level, that will definitely bring a better future. So that is my interest in the education field. So right now, in the collective, we're still holding on to the idea. It does look far-fetched, but I hope it does materialize sometime, and I'm hopeful of that. Now, coming about Bhoomi family. So this was our batch, I think one of the biggest batches in Bhoomi. The memories that happened during Bhoomi, I think words fall too less to describe. But yeah, Bhoomi also introduced me to this entire landscape of how there is outer ecology, there is also inner ecology, and how there needs to be a balance between both. So I would definitely be thankful to Bhoomi for that. Now, with respect to my experiments and learnings that I took from Bhoomi, I think this was around our internship around November 2018, or just before we were going to that. Our batchmate, Sandhya, she taught us how to make bioenzymes at home. So after I came back from my tribal hamlet visit, I thought, why not try? So I went around. One thing I had in mind, I didn't want to invest money in trying this. So I went around to all the shops near my house. I told them I'm a student and I'm doing an experiment. And I asked for all of their chocolate boxes. They were really happy to give them away. So I got all of them. I got all the citrus peels from a juice fellow, and water and jaggery I had at home. So I used them. And then in 3 months, I could make so much of bioenzyme, which is in the middle picture. And then I also heard about probiotics, which I tasted as a part of Bhoomi Sun Taste. So I wanted to try them, and then I wanted to bring my own flavor into it. So I even remember making probiotics with pani puri ka, tikka pani and meeta pani ka flavors. So that was really crazy then. Then also, since health was something of utmost importance for me, I also looked at making most of the foods myself, also some leaf powders. So that was a lot of experiments that also went on as a part of Bhoomi and after Bhoomi. And then this is something that I never go out without, like how my purse probably is an essential. I never go out without a tumbler, my own water bottle, my lunchbox, and a cotton bag. So even though I forget my purse, I ensure I take these because now there is Google Pay. So the right side picture is me with a set of Bhoomi friends when I think we'd gone out to some juice parlor in Pune. So I had taken my own glass. I felt a lot of contentment here because I did not directly add to that litter around. So something as shifts from Bhoomi was I started looking into or contemplating into how each of my small or big action actually adds to the bigger picture. So I started seeing that there was a lot of conscious consumption, conscious debating actually, even before every step I take, and a lot of mindfulness that came in. So that one shift definitely in me has occurred in the last 3 years. So as a part of it, like when I started also questioning, what is it that I truly do, or what is it that my actions contribute to? From the last 2 years, I've also changed into whole food, plant-based diet, and also I've stopped consuming dairy products. It's a struggle for me because I'm like that odd man out, and sometimes I'm also tempted, but it's like, okay, what am I doing this for? So when I come back to that thought, I think the temptation also kind of dies. So it is a struggle, though it's not been easy for me. Then I'm also like a people person, and I like to be in groups of adults and kids. So that interest, I definitely took it a little ahead. So again, few of us from Bhoomi as friends, We started doing workshops for kids, for adults, took them on nature healing walks. The first two pictures are our workshop pictures where we conducted it just immediately after Bhoomi for a set of 10 to 12 kids. Then last year, end of December, I think December 2020, we conducted like a 6-day workshop in Mane, and it was around various topics around sustainability. And 3 of us from Bhoomi, we also again went to give a sustainability talk in a corporate setup called Course 5. So they were really interested to know on what could be done, what could be some small steps that as an individual they could try to go towards sustainability. So that was another workshop that I was a part of. Then comes the question of, okay, Bhoomi's course was getting over. Again, my innate nature kicks in, which is like, okay, Bhoomi's course is going to get over. What are you going to do now? How will you again, be independent? What are you going to do? And all these various questions. I was really scared. I was like, what if I don't find a job? I'll be mocked at. Because in both our houses, like we just told them that, yes, I'm on a sabbatical because I feel the need to try something else. So I want to take this break here. But then again, the question came back, okay, what am I going to do now? And that's when I think one of the mail which came from Sendil from Red Soil Nature Play. This is like a nature-based school here in Bangalore. So they were looking for somebody to manage their farm. So I thought, okay, why not let me try this? This was like a 3-month project. So I thought, okay, I'll get to learn something, at least whatever the farming concepts that I learned here at Bhoomi, at least I'll have a space. And they were not looking for somebody experienced. They were okay with somebody novice, and I definitely was one. So I was like, okay, there is a space. Somebody else will be okay even if I make mistakes. So let me try this. So this was there, and it started with, I also had to make a nursery for saplings. This place gave like a lot of learnings, which is, I used to put so much of my mind and heart and effort to grow a sapling, and it never used to grow. But then some things just used to come by themselves, and they used to grow so beautifully. So many times I used to kind of reflect on, like, is human intervention really needed at natural places, or nature has its own force to grow around? I used to just, like be in awe when such things used to happen. And this one is a bunch of Amrut Bali that I had harvested at Red Soil. So these 3 months was like amazing journey, because I used to be in a natural place and it was just so beautiful. And then came this place called Sea Balance. So C here actually stands for Carbon, Community, Costs, and Climate. So this organization, we got to know about them at the end of Bhoomi. There was a session that Bhoomi had arranged, a talk with the founder. I attended the session. And then I felt, okay, let me just apply and see to them, because I also wanted to know what I'm going to do next. So I wrote to them about my interest to work with them. The interview process went on for a while, and it wasn't a usual interview process because it wasn't testing my skills, but it was an intention to understand my value system. So the questions were completely different. And then I was told that I could join them. So that was really an amazing moment for me. So when I joined them, I entered with, or I was working or helping them with the sustainable curriculum design, which is where we work with engineering and architecture colleges and the teachers actually. So it's like teaching the trainer program, where we talk about building physics concepts, we talk about pedagogy approaches, with the teachers, and then we also handhold them for an entire semester. So I entered here, and then right now I'm also doing parts of everything, because here we firmly believe that there is no need for niche skills, and anybody can do anything, just the intention to learn. So when I came in here, I realized that my mechanical engineering knowledge will actually come into play here. So that way, what I learned at college came of use here. And then I started seeing that, okay, somewhere, the circle is beginning to grow and close. So the carbon footprint estimation or the energy auditing. So we work with different firms where we offer these services to them. But still, there was one part which was like, okay, what am I doing in the bigger picture here? That's when this project, Informal Housing Thermal Comfort, came in, where we work with the intention here is actually to provide thermal comfort to the slum settlements, as the name goes. So we're working in 2 locations, Pune and Bangalore, where we're working in 2 slums. And the existing roofs, most of these roofs have tin or metal sheets, and that brings in a lot of heat ingress. So we are looking at retrofitting these roofs with our design solutions, which we have been researching in the last 1.5 years. And right now we are in a phase where we installed it on 5 houses in each of these cities. And we're also looking at improving our designs to do the final installation. So the part of where I always wanted to serve people, work as communities, that also came a full circle here when I started doing this project, because this involved a lot of community engagement. One thing we were sure of was we don't want to impose our problem and our solution on them. We first needed to understand if this thermal discomfort was genuinely a problem they connected with. So it meant almost 4 months of continuous site visits, engaging with the community. And then ours was a step-by-step approach where we first, understood if this was their problem, then presented to them our solutions as a model scale. On the right-hand side that you see, these are 2 solutions that we have also installed. Now, I don't know how the last 2.5 years have flown by, and the journey with Sea Balance has been more of a community-like feeling, because here, I think Partha also mentioned somewhere in the beginning that here it's about collaboration and definitely not showing up or, proving your individual skill set, but it's just like, how can you learn and how can you coexist so that as a team, we work together towards doing things that are definitely needed for the climate crisis we are right now. Now, few of my struggles have also been in this, that sometimes I feel like I'm a loner because in the journey, I feel alone because most of the dominant paradigm is going on one side. But definitely what I feel a little comfortable is knowing that there are so many more people like me in through Bhoomi, through other forums that I've met people in, that everybody is trying to do something in their own effort in whatever small scale they are in. So knowing that, yes, there are more people like me, I definitely feel the comfort. And then I think something that has been an easy breeze for me is definitely that my partner actually, here I would like to call him partner in crime and sustainability, because this is Vijay. I haven't had the struggle to convince my partner to go along this journey with me. So every day after Bhoomi, I used to go back home and then tell him that, okay, I learned this today, we did this today. So it was pretty much like he'd done half of the Bhoomi course himself. So it was, I think, the way we've been able to shape our thoughts, gel around most of these issues and see what we can do at our level, at an individual level. So life has been easy for me that way. And both of us, around the last 3-4 years, we've also been working with a group of friends to work on a tool for communities to look at better ways of engagement using nature's principles. So that way, I kind of feel like it's been very easy for me that way. So now, proudly, like in the beginning, the confusion that I had, which was like the road not taken is actually road now mine. And I don't know, this is a long journey. But yeah, I'm sure my thoughts, my struggles will definitely also shape up as this journey goes ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anusha, for your presentation. Yeah, like you mentioned, the sense of community. So through this journeys with Bhoomiwasis, actually we want this to be sort of a resource for people who want to come into the alternative. They could be youth or they could not be, but we really want them to look at the different journeys and not sort of feel like there's only one way to go about it. So I think definitely what we would like to hear from, I think, all the three of you is in terms of, I see three different models of building up capital in your life. So if you look at 8 different sort of forms of capital that we have, like from financial, material, natural, and all the other capital. So I see sort of 3 different models. Like Parthas was sort of using the intellectual capital to build a financial foundation and then sort of moving into the alternative. Akshata is sort of juggling both together. I think you are completely, like your livelihood completely comes from, if I'm not wrong, C balance. So in that sense, there are 3 different models here. So I would love to hear from all of you in terms of how do you sort of feel abundance in other forms of capital when the financial capital is you're still trying to figure out, or if you feel a sort of if you don't feel abundance there, if you feel a sense of lack there, how do you sort of deal with that, looking at the other forms of capital and building them up? So I think I would love to, that would be my question to all of you. I'm sort of using my privilege as the host here before opening it up to the people who are here, but definitely we will address those questions as well. But yeah, I think just because the intent was to look at livelihoods and how can people look at the different models available to them. So yeah, I would just like to throw out that question to all the 3 of you.
Adil, so as soon as you asked that question, again, going back to rural India, so there's a proverb in Kannada which says, Hutse Devru Hulmesa Kilva Anta. So the proverb means that once you're born, won't the God feed you? So that belief has been so strong in me after coming here that it's like I've just given it up to faith and nature, and I'm like, okay, the land will feed me end of the day. Whatever may come or may not come, I'm going to be taken care of. So that way, I would say that there's an abundance of faith after shifting to this lifestyle. I mean, before there used to be a lot of anxiety and doubts, but then now all of that has been like filled up by faith and belief that everything's going to work out end of the day.
For me, I think once I read Gandhi's one quote, which says, there is enough for every man's need, but not for every man's greed. I think that quote has definitely shaped a lot of my thoughts. So, like what you asked, Adil, like, yeah, finance. So financial stability. Yes, I am still struggling there. Like it's like, it's like I'm back to square A. So where I started after my graduation, I'm right there now. Even at family, they're like, so they make fun of me that you've become a step down transformer. Everybody upgrades in life. Why are you downgrading in life? So I've been hearing all of this. I still hear all of this, but I think somewhere it's like I'm trying to find out for myself, what is it that I feel connected the most with? And especially linking back to this quote right now, we realize that what we are making is enough for our needs. The moment our wants are increasing, that is when I need more money. So how much is it that I really need for a really comfortable life? It's not like I deprive myself of all the facilities and all of that, but how much is enough is something that I think which varies for each of us, and then it's for us to define what are we satisfied with. Yeah.
Partha, you're on mute, Partha.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky question. My journey, as you said, I quit. I had, since I took the decision little late, like midlife, I would say. So I had the dependency of my parents, which were ailing with illness. Then by the time I had my family, wife and 2 kids, and being in Bangalore, it's not going to be easy. How much ever you reduce your need, the need is increasing on the child's and education side and their need. So I can bring down my need, but their need in terms of their career growth is going to increase. So it's a struggle, but I was able to take a decision to quit just because I unloaded all my financial burden which I had with me. Like, so it's a usual life, right? So you want to take a job, get married, then you land up in a house loan, car loan, and then you get into a tax saving mode. People say that don't finish your loan, keep your house loan going on so that you save tax. So all this kind of ill advices comes to you, which I realized little early that, okay, this is not going to lead me anyway. First thing I should do is get rid of my loans. So I didn't have any saving. I just pumped all my savings into finishing off my loans first. That really helped me. And second thing is, when I decided that I'm going to quit, a lot of uncertainty at home with my better half, with my parents, and I really didn't bother what my in-laws will think about it, because it's not about just me, it's just about my wife as well. My parents, I was keep telling, because the thoughts I shared was boiling with me last 5 years. That is, last 5 years of my mainstream career. So I used to tell my dad and mom that I might quit anytime. So they were kind of getting an indication, okay, but they never thought I will quit. When I called them and said I was quit, they were in shock. And my in-law side, they were telling my wife that, okay, this guy had some alternative plans. Actually, I only know I didn't have any plan. I just quit, right? Because I was not able to make any decision being in the mainstream career. Okay, that's when I decided, let me take 1 year break. I saw my bank balance. I didn't have anything because everything is went into my loan. Luckily, the loan is gone. So that is a big burden removed from my mind. The only thing I had is my PF, which is like which I realized, okay, it will take me through for 2 years. So 2 years I had in with me. Then I spoke to a couple of my friends, and they were shooting me down that I should not do this. It was a tough decision. Then luckily I have a uncle with me with whom I had a very close relationship. So he's a go-to person for me. So I validated my ideas with him in terms of that this is what it is, right? So he's the only person who supported me that, okay, you want to do something which you want to do, which you, so why don't you pursue it? Okay, work out on your financials and see how we can work it out for you. So it's basically a risk which I took, that, okay, 2 years of savings I have. Then I joined Bhoomi without knowing what I'm going to do next, right? That's when I met a friend, Kishore, who's also a Bhoomiwasi. So we were casually talking, and he said that, okay, Partha, you have taken 1 year break, which you have consciously taken. That is what you want to do. So why are you getting into these kind of anxieties? You're taking a break. Why don't you use that break effectively in what you decided to do? And things will evolve. Actually, that comforted me very, very much. And that moment, I stopped thinking about what I'm going to do after Bhoomi course. So I fully utilized my time completely in the purpose, but I took the break for at Bhoomi. And Bhoomi gave an perspective to that they call emergent curriculum in school terms, which when I look back, some of my older decisions when I was growing in the school days as well, things have actually happened. I never planned anything. So that gave me, okay, let me fully utilize the time here. And it really worked out because at the end of the course, this project came up, and I was very sure that I will not able to, I wanted to continue in this alternative space. That was very clear, but I didn't want to continue as a alone, because as a lonely person, you could hardly do much. Only you can transform yourself. But that's when I realized the power of community. When you come together, join together, travel together, you can do many things. Even the financial will be working out for you. So this Bhoomi project evolved, which helped me to continue in that. Actually, we should not call alternative space. That should be the mainstream for us. So co-traveling along with an organization which is in that the purpose on which you also want to travel, right? Helped me where basic needs were able to be met. Still little high because weekdays I'm in farm where the financial need is very less, and weekend I have to come to Bangalore because my family is here. The financial need switches to the other end. So it's kind of as of now I'm able to meet, and my spouse is also is very supportive in terms of taking some alternative revenue stream. So I'm able to manage float right now. Float above my neck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if I see a common thread amongst all the three of you, I think what I can sense is a sort of a diversification of portfolio in terms of capital. It doesn't really just seem to be, everything doesn't seem to hinge on financial capital. It's an important aspect, but I see, like, all the three of you spoke about volunteering or things that you did before you took that step to be in the alternative. So experiential capital, I think all the three of you still work with communities. So that social capital that is being built, natural capital, because all the three of you work uh, pretty much close to nature on a farm or working with communities that are close to nature. So what I really see is that diversification of capital, which in the mainstream is really fixated on either financial or material capital. Like you are supposed to draw strength from only one of the two, like financial and. So I think for me that is one thing that is common, and the other thing is clearly partners who are uh, in tune with what you are doing. So that seems to be the common thread. So in fact, on Feb 12th, we are going to have an event called Livelihoods. So we were thinking of, what does it mean to have even partnerships which are in sync with what you want to do as part of, somebody who is into sustainability and education. So maybe we'll get all the three of you back on Feb 12th as well. But yeah, that seems to be a common thread for me as well. What we'll do is, I think we have maybe about another 10-15 minutes. So any questions from, we can take the questions now, or if any of you feel like you would like to talk a little bit in detail about the project that you're working on, you could do that. But maybe first we'll just take any questions from the group if there are. So you can unmute and ask, or you could just type in the chat box. All right, if there are no questions from people, maybe Partha, you would like to talk a little bit in detail about the project which is happening at Tiruvanamalai, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. The whole idea about this project is because cities are growing at the cost of rural space. City absorbs from human resource to all natural resource for itself to grow, and city is continuously growing. And what is we people living in the urban space are giving back to the rural space? This is the question which we were discussing, and this was the thought of Sita, the trustee of Bhoomi Network, that we should give back something back to rural space. And like the thought, like we in the urban space have so many spaces like Bhoomi or other spaces where we can go and learn, spend time and learn. But where do villagers and farmers go? Is there a space? So actually there is no space. So the idea is, can we create a space where villagers, farmers can come in feel it's their own space, and can we make a holistic learning space for them? This was the idea on which this project evolved. And one of the, so we decided, okay, we'll buy a space, land, and it should be not a fertile land. So that was one of the criteria. And we saw the idea is, let's have it where to buy. Next question, right? So where to create the space. So we, the idea came out that let's have it in Tiruvanamalai. Tiruvanamalai is a spiritual space where many people get connected to. So that is one of the criteria for Tiruvanamalai. The other reason is Tiruvanamalai district is the second drought-prone district in Tamil Nadu, where there is no much economic activity, no major industries, and natural. It's a purely rain-fed area. So this is the reason for which this particular space was chosen. So I was there, fortunately, from the beginning of this project. So we found this space. It's a barren land, barren dry land, no water resource, very little. Water is a constraint there. When we went there, people were buying drinking water. They didn't have drinking water in that village. So what I understood is it's a challenge because we are new to that space. The first thing is the people in that space, the neighboring village in the rural area, should accept us. So it took a bit of time. The first thing is what are we going to do with this barren land, right? And and the previous 3 years were a drought-prone years for that space in that area. The rain has continuously failed for 3 years. So first thing we tried is, okay, let's work on the water resource. So what are the water conservation activities which has to be done? We tried to execute there. So a lot of trenches, watersheds were built in that space. And last 3 years, the monsoons also erratic, very erratic. If it rains in northeast monsoon, the retreating monsoon will fail. If it rains in the retreating monsoon, the other monsoon will fail. So last 4 years, I have not figured out any single pattern to predict rainfall in that region. This is really alarming because we are talking about climate change in cities, but on the ground, it was really shocking for me to observe this. How farmers can survive in this country if the rain pattern is going to be like this. So this is something which we have to cope up with. That's one thing. Then we started with rain-fed crops. For me, it's all a new experience. Seeing our own food getting grown. But nature does all the work. That it's very evident. So all this samai, varagu, tinai, all this millets were growing very well with the limited rain, whatever we were getting in that space, with no irrigation. Okay, it's all rain-fed crops. There were challenges due to the erratic monsoon, but a decent harvest was possible. That's what we realized. While we were doing this, the surrounding areas in the village, they are all have forgotten millets. They grow only paddy, maybe groundnut a little bit. And they have forgotten millets in the sense, one is cultivation is forgotten. Second thing, their food, their millets in their millet as their food has also been forgotten in that rural space. So we were thinking how to revive this. So we were getting farm helpers from the neighborhood villages, and we had challenges. The first thing they have to accept us, because they know these guys don't belong to this space and they are coming from cities. So that perception has to be broken. And there were village dynamics, visible and invisible dynamics, which has to be broken. That took a significant effort to bring them together while they are in the farm working with us. They had this inequality among themselves. So we have to break that and get them along, build a rapport among themselves, build our relationship with them, build the trust in terms of, they were not able to understand the ecological farming concept which we were trying to do there. First year, they were very, very skeptical that this is going to fail. You guys are not going to get anything. Because we are breaking all the conventional farming practices there. We were planting a lot of trees. But it took time. It took at most, we are in the 4th year now. Only last year end of first year, they were able to kind of understand that, okay, these guys are trying to do something good. That took almost a year for them to understand, but they were not ready to accept till then. But at the end of 3rd year, they were able to, they saw us going 2 monsoon cycle, 2 cycles of cropping pattern, for them to understand, okay, this is also possible. So now, this year, for the first time, a farmer, neighborhood farmer, so we were all demonstrating, okay, this is possible. So this year, first farmer came to us asking for seeds, natty seeds. And he tried in his farm. And I believe this is going to slowly transform that other farmers in that area, because they all saw him growing very successfully without applying any chemicals, without any farm inputs. So if you ask me, our journey is just starting now after 4 years. So it takes time to change the behavior of people, behavior in people. With consistent effort, consistent engaging them in terms of, we never told them that you change first. Last 4 years, we were all working on our own field, trying to demonstrate, okay, this is possible. So all they were seeing us doing, now slowly they are ready to try it out in their fields. That is the first, I think this is the first breakthrough what we have got after working and continuously engaging with their villages there. Now we want to move this space to the next level in terms of, we did have other programs in between where urban crowd visited us. There are agri college students landed up coming to us last year for internship. Thanks to Corona, because if Corona has not been there, they would have taken the internship somewhere else, in a hybrid seed factory or some other commercial production field. So look, sorry, due to Corona, their options were closed, and they ended up coming to our land space. And they spent about 15, 20 students were there. They spent about a month time with us, and slowly we were able to. It was tough for them initially because we were talking against whatever they have been taught 3 years in their agricultural college. But they were able to sense, they were able to connect with us in terms of what we were, because they saw the things happening on the ground. They also participated with us, and we were able to give them the perspective and the politics and the other aspects, the importance of soil, the microbes, particularly with respect to soil. They were only aware of the physical and chemical properties of soil. They were not aware. They were not aware of the biological properties of the soil. So when we hit that chord with them, they were very well connected, and they were able to. I think they were able to take some unconscious learning with them. So this is with respect to the other youths and other connects we had with that space. Now we want to take this space to the next level in terms of more ecological programs we are planning to have in the space. And we want more youths and students, children to come into the space. We want to have a seed bank for enabling the farmers to slowly move into traditional cropping patterns. So this is happening right now, and the next couple of years is going to be quite engaging, is what my understanding.
Thank you, Partha.
Yeah.
I think if somebody wants to know more, I think they can go to Bhoomi Network. .org, and if they want to know more details, they can connect with you as well. We can make that connection possible.
Yeah, we are also trying to make community building in terms of we have formed a self-help group of women, rural women, so that can they have an year-round earning with the value-add products. Whatever we are growing, can we make in value-add products with their help, so that they can have an additional learning, and also provide kind of independence for them, financial independence in the rural space. That's one of the things we are working on. We are planning to have seed bank. We are planning to have a community nursery. There are a lot of ideas which I'm sure slowly we will be able to evolve.
Thank you, Partha.
Thank you.
I know we are totally out of time, but maybe final word from Anusha and Akshata. Anusha, Akshata, if you guys are there, maybe.
Hi, Adil. Final words. Like you said, it was a tough journey, especially financially. It was really tough. But having a very good support system in the family helped. Like you said, partner makes a huge difference, but also the family also makes a huge difference. I would like to close up with what my sister, who recently visited me, said. We do have a lot of financial ups and downs when it comes to agriculture, especially. So she said that you are creating a very paradise kind of place. So it is okay to ask for help from people who can help. So financially, who are well off and would love to visit this place, it's okay to ask them for help. So I think that made a lot of difference to me, because what she said was true. When we are physically working, it's okay to ask for help. So I would like to close up with that it's okay to seek help when we are trying to create an alternate living for ourselves.
Thank you for that, Akshata. Anusha? I'm not able to hear you, Anusha. I don't know. Are you guys able to hear Anusha?
No.
No, right?
No, not me. Yeah.
No.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was saying that for me, definitely, yes, the partner is supportive, but with respect to family, it is still a journey for us there to try and see what works for us, what works for them, where is the mutual common point. So that's still a journey for us. And something that I've also realized right now is there are two kinds of family. All of us are born in family of origin, but it's through this journey we are seeking our family of choice. So the family of choice is what is growing right now for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Anusha. Thank you, Akshita, and thank you, Partha, for coming and sharing your stories. And thank you to everybody who joined here and who's watching on the live stream. Hope you found it valuable. Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode of Journeys with Bhoomiwasis. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. अरे ये लोग तो निकल गए.
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. We'll send them a message later.
Thank you note.
हाँ,
ठीक है.
भेजेंगे. वो it's on Facebook.
How is your
1 second.